Have you ever noticed how artificial pleasures often feel more tempting than natural ones? After a long, exhausting day, most people don't reach for a walk in the park or a moment of silence. Instead, they grab their phone, light a cigarette, pour a drink, or scroll endlessly. Why? Because artificial pleasure feels immediate. It doesn't ask for patience. It doesn't demand effort. It delivers quick satisfaction, right here, right now. That's the hidden appeal. Our brain is wired to chase rewards, and when something promises instant relief, it feels almost irresistible. Take social media, for example. A single notification gives you a tiny spark of excitement. It's fast, it's easy, and it feels like a reward, even though it adds nothing meaningful to your life. Artificial pleasures trick us by imitating real joy. A cigarette mimics relaxation, but it doesn't solve stress. Pornography mimics intimacy, but it doesn't create real connection. Junk food mimics nourishment, but it doesn't give true health. Each one is like a shadow of something natural, a shortcut that skips the depth and only gives you the surface-level feeling. And here's the paradox. The very things that feel like relief in the moment often leave us emptier over time. That's why the craving keeps coming back, stronger each time. It's not that these pleasures are powerful because they give us so much. It's because they give us just enough to keep us hooked, while never truly satisfying the need behind them. So the real question is, why do we keep falling for the same illusion? Maybe because in a world that feels increasingly fast and demanding, artificial pleasure is like a quick escape hatch. It gives us the sense of control we think we've lost, even if that control is only an illusion. Have you ever wondered why resisting artificial pleasure feels so difficult? We often tell ourselves, "This is the last time. Tomorrow I'll quit." But somehow, tomorrow comes, and we're right back in the same cycle. Why is that? The answer lies in how our brain is wired. Our brain has a reward system powered by a chemical called dopamine. Every time we get a hit of artificial pleasure, a cigarette, a notification, a piece of junk food, our brain releases dopamine. It feels good, but here's the catch. The brain quickly adapts. That same pleasure no longer feels as strong, so we need more of it to get the same high. This is the beginning of the loop. It's not just biology, though. It's also psychology. Our habits are built on repetition. The more often you reach for your phone when you're bored, the more your brain learns this is the solution to boredom. Before long, it feels automatic, like you didn't even choose it. And when something feels automatic, resistance feels almost impossible. Add to this the social pressure around us. Think about it. Ads constantly sell us quick fixes. Friends may encourage us, and society normalizes these behaviors. It's not just you against your craving. It's you against an entire environment designed to keep you hooked. And here's something even more fascinating. Resisting pleasure actually feels painful at first. When you deny yourself that cigarette, that drink, or that quick scroll, your brain interprets it as a loss. You're not just fighting a habit, you're fighting the very chemistry of your brain and the culture around you. So when you feel like it's hard to resist, remember this. It's not because you're weak. It's because the system is strong. The deck is stacked against you. But understanding this mechanism is the first step. Once you see how the cycle works, you realize that resistance is less about willpower and more about building a new system that works in your favor. On the surface, artificial pleasures look harmless. A quick cigarette, a short scroll. a late-night snack. It all feels like just one more time. But the real impact doesn't show up right away. It builds quietly, in the background, until one day we realize how much we've lost. The first hidden cost is attention. Every time we give in to artificial pleasure, we train our brain to crave stimulation instead of focus. That's why it becomes harder to read a book, finish a task, or even sit still. Our mind becomes restless, always searching for the next hit. Over time, this constant distraction eats away at our ability to concentrate, and we don't even notice it happening. The second cost is motivation. Artificial pleasures give us quick rewards without real effort. They trick the brain into feeling satisfied without achieving anything. Why work hard for progress when you can get a tiny dopamine hit instantly? Slowly, the drive to build, to grow, to achieve begins to fade. And that's something no one warns us about: the quiet erosion of ambition. Then there's the emotional cost. These pleasures often leave a void after the high fades. A cigarette that promised calm leaves you anxious again. A night of endless scrolling leaves you feeling empty. The short-term comfort is followed by a long-term sense of dissatisfaction. It's like eating candy when what your body really needed was a meal. You feel full for a moment, but your real hunger is still there. And finally, the cost in relationships. Artificial pleasures pull us inward. They make us less present with the people around us. Porn replaces intimacy. Social media replaces real conversation. Junk food replaces shared meals. Slowly, the connections that make life meaningful start to weaken, and we're left wondering why we feel so alone, even when we're surrounded by people. So when we look at artificial pleasure, the danger isn't just what it gives us, it's what it takes away. Focus, motivation, emotional balance, and human connection. These are the hidden costs, and the longer we ignore them, the higher the price we pay. We've explored the appeal of artificial pleasure, why resisting it is so hard, and the hidden costs it brings. Now, let's take a step back and ask the big question. Are we truly free when we chase these pleasures, or are we already trapped? Philosophers have wrestled with this for centuries. Nietzsche warned about humans being enslaved by shallow desires, distracted from deeper purpose. Epicurus, centuries earlier, reminded us that true pleasure isn't instant, it's calm, sustainable, and comes from living in harmony with nature and ourselves. Modern psychologists echo this. Quick, artificial pleasures give the illusion of control, but in reality, they often diminish it. Think about it. Every time you reach for that quick hit, a scroll, a puff, a bite, you're making a choice. You may feel free in that moment, but the pattern repeats, reinforcing dependency. Each choice subtly shapes your life, often without you noticing. Over time, the repeated pursuit of shallow pleasures can feel like chains we willingly wear. And yet, there's hope. Awareness is the first step toward real freedom. Once you see how artificial pleasures work, you can make conscious choices. You can decide to replace a moment of instant gratification with something deeper, a conversation, a walk in nature, creative work, or learning something new. These choices don't promise immediate dopamine spikes, but they build lasting satisfaction and resilience. Freedom isn't about rejecting all pleasure. It's about choosing the ones that serve you, not the ones that control you. It's about turning the mirror inward, understanding your impulses, and deciding what truly adds value to your life. So here's the final thought. Artificial pleasure may feel sweet in the moment, but the sweetness is fleeting and the cost is long-term. True freedom comes from awareness, deliberate choice, and investing in pleasures that nourish your mind, body, and soul.